Money takes an important place in our lives. You can't imagine what some people would do to make money. Those who hate working from morning to evening. That's why they've come up with some pretty strange ways of making money. Here are the weird things people do for money. 1. Wear a t-shirt. Actually, we can't say it's an idea. It's so simple, you don't think you can profit from it. So it's a very interesting job. In 2005, Jason Sadler dreamed of making money by wearing t-shirts with the logo of some companies on them. It's an interesting idea to walk around wearing t-shirts with a logo that will convince companies to pay for it. He was also going to talk to people about that company. If we say Sadler's idea made a good exit, we take it lightly. Companies very loved the idea. And in order to meet the demand, Sadler had to hire a very good staff. Within 5 years, the service doubled its price. And now he's making a total of $500,000 a year. 2. Hair sale. Using wig hair in recent days is even more popular than before. Even genuine human hair, which has not been traded or dyed, has become very popular. Although some women in America donate their hair to wig and wig manufacturers, the vast majority of human hair used for welding is supplied from Russia and India. Unfortunately, one of the reasons for this trade is poverty. Women in these countries are forced to grow hair and sell their hair for money. British singer Jamelia, who researched this industry for a documentary project in 2008, was horrified at the exploitation she had witnessed, and she took the oath never to use the source made from genuine human hair again. It may not be easy for some people to sell their hair. We tend to hide behind our looks in some cases, and hair is one of the biggest ways we do that. Our hair can be a major way of expressing who we are. Selling hair is effortless, though it might not be the easiest thing to part with. Some people seem to exhibit strong emotions when they cut their hair. All said and done, it will grow back. This list of methods of money making are for when you're in dire need of cash. While all hair can make some money, there are some hair types that can be a cash cow. Depending on the type of hair, if it's in demand, it can fetch a lot of money. There are many websites that provide a marketplace for hair, making it easy to find a way to reach people looking to purchase your hair. If you're looking to make a difference, however, you can donate your hair for a good cause. Many people donate their hair to a charity to help medical patients with alopecia or cancer who have lost their hair. There are charities like Locks of Love or Wigs for kids who specialize in children. There are also organizations like Pantene Beautiful Lengths who focus on adults, mostly women. 3. Suicide doctor. Suicide clinics are suddenly opening all over the world. People who want to end their lives apply to these clinics to get a death shot and die. The first American pathologist to come up with the idea was Jack Kevorkian. The statement, "It is not a crime to wanna die," has sparked huge controversy. But nowadays his unorthodox ideas are taken seriously. Located in Switzerland, Dignitas is the world's most famous suicide clinic. This clinic has so far assisted 1,000 people in their deaths by administering euthanasia. 4. Pusher. Japan's big cities are incredibly crowded, especially during high traffic hours. Metro stations that are full are extremely disturbed. Imagine how you'd feel if there was an officer in that crowd pushing you in so you could fit in the wagon? That's how city life really is in Japan. The task of these staff working at metro stations is to squeeze as many people into the wagon as possible before the train takes off. In addition, pushers' other task is to pick up and pull out passengers who are trapped by the crowds inside the wagon when the train stops and the doors open. 5. Professional lament or mourner. This work is hugely popular in Africa, where mourning is a cultural value. Professional lamenters are being recruited to cry at funerals. In this way, the aim is to give the impression that the deceased is a very respectable and important person. Even in the Bible there is evidence of professional lamentations. This idea now seems to be spreading, although it is not very common in the Western world. There's even a rental service called Robertson Essex for that matter. Some people make money going to go to funerals and wakes. They will act like they're mourning. In some cultures, they also hire a professional wailer. They hold a microphone and wail away at full volume, mourning the passing of whomever is in the box. You've probably come across someone who has a natural gift for mourning. If you can cry on a dime, you should consider this lucrative side gig. This isn't some cheesy method of getting paid either. It's actually a very old occupation that derived from Mediterranean cultures as well as other parts of the world. A professional mourner is known as a mourologist. They are compensated to mourn or be the person to deliver the eulogy. It's a serious position that takes a certain person. If you think you can honor the death of loved ones accordingly, you may find this an interesting way to make extra money. 6. Country soil sell. Country soil sell is one of the most interesting ways to make money in the world. This also proves that if you understand trade, you can sell everything. Pat Burke, from the Tipperary region of Ireland, came up with this great idea inspired by the yearning lives of generations of immigrants living in America. What is this idea? Selling country soil for people living abroad to sprinkle on the grave of their deceased relatives. The country soil trade has been very successful. He built a super profitable business selling a box of country soil for $15. The company's annual sales exceed $1 million. 7. Selling stinky socks. Remember, everything that can be bought has a buyer. Try selling the weirdest things to win more and avoid competition, says eBay seller in his 30s. The first time he went into the business of selling old, hole-in-one and stinky socks with his girlfriend just for fun, and he got so excited when he made $12 from the first sale. He then made small profits and started making big profits. For a few years after that, he made 10 grand selling only the socks he wore. 8. Professional sleeper. All the products we use go through a lot of tests before they are released, but you may not have thought of this before, but even beds and mattresses have to be tested before they enter the manufacturing process. That's why some people are hired to sleep, and they test the beds by sleeping before they go public. They often measure their pulse at night and come to a conclusion about how comfortable they feel. Hotel Finn, based in Helsinki, posted a job advert similar to this one. He hired a sleeper to assess the quality of his night's sleep by sleeping in 35 different rooms of the hotel. No wonder there are over 600 applications for this interesting job listing. 9. Eater or Korean mukbang. It's hard to believe, but eating and obesity have also become a business. A group of women managed to turn their eating habits into careers. Watching fat people eating has become a fetish. This is a non-common fetish, but with the expansion of the internet world, it has started to attract attention in recent years. The goal of one of the most famous eaters in recent years is to become the fattest woman on earth. People who sign up on their website pay her to watch her eat. This money, donated by its members, is used for expensive grocery expenses. Because this woman gets 12,000 calories a day. Diva, a South Korean food vlogger, sells live streaming footage she shot while preparing and eating food. Thanks to this quirky money-making method, the diva earns $9,000 a month. This job is one of the most unusual. There is a phenomenon in Korea where people record themselves sitting and eating. However, they consume an unusually large portion of food even by American standards. They do this sometimes over the course of a few hours, while commenting on it all. They sit, eat, talk, and then chat with viewers who are watching them sit, eat, and talk. Supposedly, the top-paid mukbang earned in the realm of $300,000 in a year. Just for eating and talking. But without a workout routine, such a massive intake of calories could cause weight gain. Health issues would eventually scupper the entire silly production. But as the broadcasts have become more popular, there has been a boom of everyday amateurs trying to break out as mukbang. So, there are many people who value popularity and potential fame and riches over their general health. 10. Sell virginity. That's the most decidedly controversial way to make money. Sometimes people can choose this way to make money fast. Selling virginity is becoming quite common. Apparently, no one cares about the dangers and the damage to one's dignity. There are many cases like this, but the most well-known and best documented one is undoubtedly Caterina Migliorini. A 21-year-old Brazilian woman made more than $700 by selling her own virginity to a stranger over the internet. You won't believe, but afterwards, Migliorini sold again, declaring that she had not lost her virginity. 11. Venom milker. Being a venom milker takes a certain breed of person. But people can make money by milking venomous snakes for their venom. Many companies use it to make antivenom or add it to drugs to treat many types of human medical conditions. Anyone who does this for a job would need extensive experience in handling venomous reptiles. They would need to be an expert in this field, as the margin of error would be zero. A milker has to have steady hands to gently open the mouth to expose the fangs. Then they have to squeeze out the venom. Venom milkers respect the snake and know if the snake got the chance, it could kill them. They use extreme caution and professionalism. 12. Selling a piece of the soul. Elon Musk's wife puts part of his soul up for sale. Yeah, you didn't hear wrong. This could be one of the strangest ways to make money. Grimes presented her own paintings, photographs and conceptual artworks on the internet through 2020 August 31st in an exhibition called Selling Out at the MİLKER One Art Gallery in Los Angeles. Elon Musk's wife has put a piece of also his soul up for sale, taking a decision that surprised people. Grimes, who is a visual artist as well as a musician's identity, also has conceptual artwork consisting of a legal document representing a piece of his soul in the Selling Out exhibition. The buyer who offers the best money will have a piece of Grimes' spirit. 13. Selling your own sperm. A lot of people sell their body fluids, believe it or not. And donating sperm can be a great way to make some extra money. But there is a bit of a catch with this one. The donor needs to qualify. The qualifications include height, build, attractiveness, blood type and sexual preferences. They also look at educational background, ethnicity and family medical history. These are things that could potentially be on the wish list of the sperm seeker. The process can be rigorous, but if you meet all the qualifications, you could make thousands of dollars. And just for doing something you're probably doing anyway. The only difference is that you're doing it in a controlled environment. However, sperm banks often have an all-female staff to administer tests. They also take you to the sacred room with the TV and porn. And then there's the chair, which is probably still warm from the last patron. Another potential hurdle in this process is that even if you pass the tests so far, you're still not out of the qualifying stage. After you've given them a couple of samples, they need to test your little swimmers to make sure they aren't deformed or lazy. Remember, they've narrowed it down to guys like you, and they only choose a few lucky ones. If they choose you, you may have to sign a contract to provide a sample once or twice a week. You may be obligated to come in for months or even a year. And until you fulfill all your obligations, you won't get paid. It assures everyone that you'll live up to your contract. The whole process of in vitro fertilization is outrageously expensive. It can be quite difficult, requiring a lot of tries. So, if you sign on the dotted line, you've much signed on for a contracted job. It's a lot to go through, but if you're a qualified donor, it's a good payoff considering what you're being paid to do. Once you've qualified once, there's a good chance you could qualify again later. 14. Human guinea pig. Some people have the unfortunate fate of contracting a rare illness. If there is no cure yet, they can sign up for a clinical trial. There are experimental drugs and procedures they are trying, hence the word, trial. But, nobody knows if they will work or not, at least for humans. In some cases, they improve their situation, as it turns out to be a helpful drug or procedure. In other cases, it doesn't work. It's a bit of a crapshoot, but if the illness is severe or terminal, it may be the best hope for survival. And if it works, it could help many other people, too. 15. Selling your own plasma. You can expect to be paid anywhere from $20 to $50 per donation. The range in compensation is related to the volume of plasma you're able to donate. The FDA sets the guidelines and the ranges are 110 to 149 pounds, 150 to 174 pounds, and 175 to 400 pounds. The more poundage, the more plasma, and the more cash you're paid. Plasma is another way people sell a part of themselves. It's relatively easy, but again, you'll need to qualify as a donor. With a little bit of patience though, you can gain some easy cash by selling plasma. You usually need to be at least 18 years of age and weigh at least 110 pounds. You'll have to undergo a couple of medical examinations and a medical history screening. They may test for viruses like HIV and hepatitis, too. If you've got faulty juice for some reason, they will label you deferred. This is a nice way of saying you failed their screening, and you are getting the proverbial boot. A deferral can be temporary or permanent, depending on the infraction. For every donation you make, you can expect to make between $20 to $50. The amount you get paid is based on how much plasma you can donate. There are FDA standards and guidelines laid out to protect your health. The ranges are between 110 to 149 pounds, 150 to 174 pounds, and 175 to 400 pounds. If you do it regularly, you can bank up to $300 to $400 every month. Regularly means twice a week for about 90 minutes each visit. If needles don't bother you and you've kept yourself relatively clean over the years, it doesn't take much effort. 16. Friend renting. Yes, friend renting is a thing. There are people who rent themselves out for all sorts of reasons. They attend types of activities, outings, functions and events. Some people even command $50 per hour or more for being a hired friend. But it's not the people who hire themselves out that seem unusual. Many people would be up for hanging out with someone for $50 an hour. It's the people who hire them who are a bit of a head-scratcher. It states quite clearly there will be no sexual contact whatsoever. But it's almost inevitable that there has to be some kind of mutually consented contact. Touching may happen that wanders outside the stated boundaries, which might break the rules. But we're all human. 17. Hangover helpers. There's an Australian husband and wife team with a brilliant idea. They provide exactly what their name states, hangover helpers. Did you throw a huge party and need a quick clean-up? Did a couple of beers with some friends while the wife was away turn into a raging drunken house party? Have you woken up to a home that resembles the aftermath of a tornado? What if your wife and kids are on their way back home? If you live in Perth, Australia, just call these guys. They offer a cleaning service, but they also cook breakfast and bring Powerade. When they're done, nobody will be the wiser you even had a guest. Yeah, well, maybe you guys can come up with some new ideas to make a quick buck. Who knows, maybe you could be one of the new millionaires. Life is full of surprises. Thank you for watching. We make interesting, fun, sometimes weird videos on the persFACTive channel. Our goal is to provide you with catchy, interesting, funny, bizarre videos as often as possible. I hope I can make you have a couple of fun minutes. Please follow the channel for more information.